We're back live.
Good morning.
It's a great day and we're early.
Yeah. A little early today.
We adapt because we are going to be creating the flow of a new workflow. So here we go. Things we do to adapt. But who are we? Your turn.
Good morning. We are the Amish Matchmakers. We help Amish singles, find godly spouses, create epic marriages, and then incredible legacies rooted in faith and freedom. Appreciate you joining us. Today it's Monday.
Yes. I'm putting an announcement to our community because they usually have been jumping on with us, letting them kind of know what it is that's happening today. We're coming on early. But again, early today, shout out to the family and the people that support us. Thanks for your support. And hopefully you're watching the recording at our normal time. Normally we jump on about 7:30 or 8 o'clock. And here we are at 7. Really early. But what I wanted to discuss today, as we are working on identity and developing our best MVP, right? Our three activities, core activities, lifelong activities are. Tell us a little bit about those three things and why they're essential. But what we're going to go into today is MVP and then how to create that MVP and why we're valuable. So, but talk about the three core activities real quick. I'm let her out.
So our three core activities are MVP, Triggers to Triumph, and Epic 30. And the reason those are the core activities is because every single one of those falls in line with how we create the 3 C's of intimacy, connection, the confidence, communication, and commitment. So, when we understand our identity, it helps us to operate from a place of courage and confidence, right? um, you're totally distracting me right
Oh,
now.
sorry.
It really is a problem.
Am I that handsome?
Yeah. So, and then, of course, when we understand triggers to triumph, moving forward, moving through the things that keep us stuck, understanding the value of pressing in versus avoiding the triggers, or allowing the things in life to control us, the experiences, the traumas, the challenges. And then the Epic 30, of course, is the practical application. It's the daily habit that is ultimately our connection with the Father, with ourself, and giving that flow with connections to our family, our spouse, those who we are in relationship with.
That's right. Good morning, Sheila. Thanks for your love and support. You're incredible. And good to see you here. Love the support and the blessing. Sheila's an incredible expert on the lymphatic system and having your best flow of your fluids and stuff in your lymphatic system for your body. It's really
Clearly,
awesome.
he's not an expert.
Yeah. But getting the flow of your body is very important physically. And she's really an expert at that. It's really awesome.
Yes, absolutely.
Anyways, just a little side note. But yes, so MVP today and how to best determine your MVP. Well, so we had a really cool opportunity last night. Those of you that are single potentially were maybe watching us last night on the single to married group with Jesse and Irina Kaufman's school group. And super awesome to get that opportunity to be guest speakers on that event last night. Had quite a few people there, and where we Amish Matchmakers tell all the secrets of how to get engaged in 12 weeks or less. The secret sauce that we've worked on for many others. And it was cool to talk about that last. I mean, in fact, 20 plus, over 20 couples we've helped to get engaged in 12 weeks or less. And it's funny because when people hear that, they think, oh, so if I get started today, I can get engaged in less than 12 weeks. Well, maybe. It just depends. We talked about the 3 ingredients that help people get there. There's a 7-step process that every single one of those couples went through. Number 2, every single one of those couples were being mentored personally by Chantel and I, the matchmakers, the Amish matchmakers. And so accountability is a huge part of it. And then number 3, every one of those people came to an epic intensive as well. They got fully immersed. And that's again the 3 things that really ensure that you get there quickly. And a lot of people don't even make the decision to get started in the process of going towards an engagement until they've been in for several months and kind of getting their mindset right. And so that was kind of what we worked through last night. So if you're single or even if you're married, if these questions are relatable, yep, we feel you. And some of those questions are, why am I so lonely? You might be married or single and feeling that, especially during this holiday season. It's a real thing to feel lonely, and even being in marriage and feeling lonely. You guys live different lives. You're just roommates. We've seen that before. Or maybe you're single and it's like, what's wrong with me? Why don't I like myself, let alone love myself? Um, why am I not married yet? Why am I still single? Like, all these things plague you, right? These questions about why and what's wrong with me, and what am I doing wrong, or what do I need to fix? Am I broken? Like, we've heard a lot of these different things. And I think one that's huge to address is, why don't I like myself? When you look in the mirror, what do you see? And so
that's our whole topic last week was about self-love.
Sure. But again, creating the identity. We talked about self-love last week, but again, now that hopefully if you didn't watch those recordings, you can go back and watch them. But if you're working on loving yourself, part of it, the proof is in the action. And that's what I want to get to and get Chantel to help us with, is working through even understanding our best identity. Part of what we can do to understand that is to be able to tap into the fact that you are created in the image of God, the 4 faces of God, as we've talked about. We got a chance to talk about that last night. And those questions that you're probably or possibly asking, especially during this holiday season, feeling lonely or frustrated by situations, let's work on your identity. During this holiday season, can you work on you to get yourself better and knowing who you are and whose you are, but knowing what's in you will empower you. So now we've got Chantel this morning, woman's perspective. And I definitely am excited to talk to her about the eagle, because we talk about the eagle, and pulling that out of men is more of a challenge. Men are less, I'm kind of special.
You are special.
I communicate a lot, verbal processor, if you can't tell. Another thing is I tend to have a lot more eagle in me, but I have a theory about that. My mother raised by a woman, and we did verbally process a lot, really loud at times, big arguments. Chantel got to see that one time between my mom and I, because it doesn't happen as like it used to, man. When I was a teenager, it was daily. But the point being is that typically, though, we've seen in our experience that women tend to be more eagle-like, with naturally the queen of the air. So we went over that, and even talking about how important it is to tap into the eagle. So I want to get your perspective on, like, why is it that women? What's your takeaway, or what's your thoughts on even the whole visionary, being more sensitive and in tune to the spirit?
It's the discernment.
Yep, the discernment. There you go. So just kind of give us your overview of eagle and why it's associated to female, and then the Holy Spirit and all that kind of stuff. Kind of go over that.
Well, I mean, going back through even, a couple of the deep dives that we did last week, right? The Genesis 2,
Mm-hmm.
18, and then Proverbs 31.
That was a hot one. That was good. It's a really good one. Not my coffee.
Oh, gosh.
Sorry, she's waking up still, and I've been awake for a while. The Proverbs 31
You're
woman.
literally drinking black coffee.
I know. No, I said that was a hot one, meaning hot topic.
I know. I was concerned
So
you
confused.
burned yourself or something.
No. No, I meant that topic. You did an amazing job on that presentation. Okay. We're gonna have a replay of that for sure.
But the whole point is understanding, even in creation, right? Our design. We went through how man was, up until this point, right? God had created all of these things, and it was good, and then He created man, and He was like, "But wait."
Yeah.
There's man was not complete, and so going into creating woman and all of the things that we bring to the table that does create man, like the human, right? um and it is those things. It is the discernment, it is the spiritual connection, and those things. So when we talk about the eagle, it definitely, you know the eagle has to do with the wind,
Mm-hmm.
right? The spirit, the ruach, right, that lives inside of us, and which is the spirit. So that's the natural discernment. That's the feelers, the in-depth feelers.
Yeah. So women definitely, would you say, as a whole, they definitely have more discernment than men, and have a more typically have a better connection to the spirit. Yes. And the spiritual realm, like sensitivity to that. Like, maybe give us even some thoughts behind that and some examples of it's. Yeah, do you think it's attached to like the fact that women are more emotional, like, and emotions are attached to the discernment? I mean, kind of, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, I mean, yes, by design,
Mhm.
we have a whole lot more going on hormonally, right? There's our makeup is designed to procreate,
Mhm.
right? And then, so in that procreation, we have to have that discernment. We are carrying another human being. You know what I mean? I mean, there's so much to it. That's like a whole another topic of conversation. But
Yeah, to be a mother, to be female is to be a mother.
mm-hmm.
Um, and looking at the eagle, even in the discernment of the eagle, the focus, the vision, but also recognizing that because of those emotions, do you think that's what then creates and will have make it to where women are better communicators because they're able to express feelings? And I'm just curious about all of that, because women have that normally as a typically a skill that is more inherent for the female, the discernment, sensitivity, but then also the communicators. They talk more, right? The statistically.
Well, I do believe that has everything to do with the mothering nature. I mean,
Nurture.
we innately have to.
Yeah.
You're raising a child, you know what I mean?
Right.
I think, some men work at it,
Sure.
as they become a father, or they, are raising a family, and some men don't. They just go single focus to the work and provision. Oh, sneeze. Sorry.
Look at the light. Make you sneeze. Well, okay. Yes. So understanding the eagle. Let's talk a little bit about even the the personality, the strengths of the eagle, because I think it's important. Women knowing that this is tends to be one of their first personality traits, but in a lot of cultures and a lot of systems and a lot of religions, they will squash the queen of the air, right? If we look at the queen of the air and understand the eagle, we will actually understand that she's not a wimp.
No.
She does not shrink back. She does not make herself small. She's top of the food chain.
She's fierce.
Yeah.
Mm.
Talk a little bit about that. What as we've studied the eagle together and the understanding of the eagle, and uh, what does that look like to you? Even the fact that she flies towards a storm, like she is top of the food chain, like all these cool things about the queen of the air, even known as the queen of the air. Like, give us some feedback on that.
Well, you just talked about it.
Yeah, but I want to hear your perspective as a woman, like, because I think a lot of times we talk about all these different, if we're talking about identity and we're created in the image of God, and then God takes on eagle, ox, and lion in the face of man. We're looking at the eagle. I want to hear your perspective. Like, what does that look like for a woman then? And how can that empower women too, as well, in their identities?
Well, I think, again, going back to the identity and our design, our creation, and especially when we're coming into marriage and creating a family, you know, it's the vision, right? The eagle is the visionary. And for a little girl, we have a vision for our life. We have a vision for what our family is. I mean, that's innate. That's by design, right? That um that we want to create this family. It's birthed in us, from the beginning. And so it's kind of, I think, naturally it's something that drives us when we're even looking for a spouse, or getting married. Like we are forward thinking about the family and what that looks like. And a lot of the courage that we have inside of us, that strength, that fierceness, is, some people call it the mama bear, if you will, right? So I see the eagle as very fierce and courageous, flying towards the storm, recognizing that she's strong enough. Number one, there's that saying, right? You never know how strong a woman is, and until she's put in hot water or something like that. Like, but it really is kind of natural, uh, the, in our design to I mean, fear is a big thing for anyone. So if we have a plague of fear, it you know it it is what it is, and it comes from our traumas. But naturally, we're, again, biblically speaking, we're not designed with the spirit of fear,
Yes.
right?
Yes. It's interesting too. Jesse made a comment here about men not and women too. It's interesting. The fact that women are more nurturing by nature would make them have better discernment. They're making time. That's a good point. Where men, like, if I think about even the natural of giving birth, the time that it takes, 9 months, you're carrying the baby, and then even nursing, you
Mhm.
can't rush nursing, right? A little bit of milk comes out of for the baby to have. Like, you have to truly hold that baby for a while, multiple times per day, while the baby nurses on, a woman's breast. It's like crazy when you think about all that takes time. It's that connection, that affection. So you think that adds to their ability to have discernment, their ability to be more in tune with
Well,
emotions?
again, it's the woman's design. All of those things matter. It's the connection between a mama and child from jump. It's I saw something the other day that talked about the DNA of the child is, you know of the child still remains in the mom, even after she's given birth, years beyond that.
Wow.
That we carry that. You know what I mean?
Mm. So it's like a very deep connection,
Yeah, absolutely.
spiritual, physical.
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy cool. I didn't know that. I've never heard that, but that's cool. I can see that. I can imagine that because again, you've got the umbilical cord and the blood flow and the connection, and the baby does have its own DNA, its own peculiar, if you would. And so, wow, discernment. Now, how important is that for a man to have that in his identity? Because you got all these tough men, and I don't need to be sensitive. I don't need to have emotions. I'm not supposed to have emotion. I'm just a rough, tough lion and an ox. But that eagle, that's for the birds. I mean, literally, that's funny that saying. That's for the birds, right? Tell me about that. What are your thoughts on that, and the importance of having that balance of all the faces and empowering those strengths in men too?
Well, I mean, that's where we get to learn from each other. You know what I mean? And again, there's always different seasons and things where we operate from those different strengths, but it is a strength, and it's a muscle that we ought to work. It's
Why
part
is it
of us.
important? There's my first question. Why is it important for men to do this? To have the
Well,
eagle strengths?
I mean, because a man without a vision will perish.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, honestly, it's important for all of us, men and women alike. But for a man to cast a vision and to it's part of the yoking.
So what about the discernment side of things, empowering that? Does that affect? Is that important for a man to learn that skill and to learn that strength and to pull it out of himself, or how important is it for a wife to pull that out of her husband? Does that even help? Do you believe? Now that we're talking about it, I'm thinking about this, like even in becoming a great father, not just someone that provides and protects, but whoa, what about nurturing? Like,
Mhm.
is that possible without tapping into the eagle? Because again, if we're creating in his image and that's the side that is the nurturer, you see where I'm going with this? Like I'm just kind of processing through this and how important that strength is to tap into for men. It's probably one of the biggest weaknesses. Now, again, some people would look at me and go like, "But Carlos, you're always talking. You're spiritual." I know I'm not the normal kind of guy. I've done a lot of work to get here. Like literally, I have a lot. But I'm saying like that. I believe, as we're talking about it, that's a really important key.
Mhm. Well, yeah, I mean, because that's where the connection is, right? Mm. That's your connection point, right?
So the when you say the connection point, you're talking about because the eagle is a visionary, the eagle is expressive, able to communicate the vision, able to communicate emotions,
Well, and
discernment, like all those
yeah,
traits.
so we talk about, creating a safe place, right?
Mhm.
And having in the communication. So if we're not working on the environment that we create and what that looks like and what it feels like, you know, if we're just simply operating from a place of an ox where it's just this steady, consistent, repetitive over and over and over, and we're not focusing on the vision, then we're disconnecting. Like people get disconnected because they can't connect to a, what the why behind where all of the steadfast stuff,
Yeah, that's good.
right? So in a family, if you have children and you just have somebody who's boxed into an ox behavior and they're not working on the other strengths,
Right.
then the people in their life, the children, the wife that is more, uh, that requires more, vision and discernment and spiritual, guidance versus, such a structure, then we lose that connection.
Yeah.
Right. And the same thing with a one that focuses so hard on the lion strengths, the go, the fierce, the action. They lose sight of the why there,
So true.
and they lose sight of the diligent, steadfast stuff. That's why they're all so important.
The balance. Yeah. So then talking about the vision and talking about discernment, emotions that come from the strength of the eagle. Um, is that important for a man to tap into those things? And why?
Yes. I just
I know, but the emotional side of things, the discernment side, what does that bring? How does that affect a woman if a man is tapping into those things?
well, then he's being intentional with like the things like validation and understanding,
Awesome.
pursuing understanding, and those are, I mean, really that's the way that we feel seen and heard, is when we're tapping into those things.
Well, and it's so cool. Like you and I have studied these for years, but now that I'm thinking about it, it's crazy because the ox is all about the grind, right? The daily routines, down, down. They feed on, and then you've got the lion. It's all about even the action. Like let's go for the hunt, the hunt, the hunt. Right? And then the eagle, got to take time to soar, baby. They thrive and they love to soar.
Well,
They
and
love to like spend the time
and
soaring.
dreaming and
Yeah.
and changing like things, even that's where,
Visionary is so powered through that time, huh?
that's where, like if in a practical sense, right? A man get frustrated. Oh, my wife, she wants to change things all the time, right? Their furniture or something,
Mhm.
versus coming alongside that and being a part of dreaming or envisioning things.
Yeah.
Again, it's that's why I said it's a connection point.
Yeah, it was super powerful. As an example, like on our day of rest Saturday, we just sat out in the sun, no phones, no distractions, sun beaming in on us, having a cup of coffee, you and I. And it was super cool to then connect. But a lot of what we did too was ceasing from what we normally do. Like I said, not on our phones, not doing work, just chilling together. But it was a time of even vision. Like that was super amazing for me to be able to process through some of the stuff we're working on, some of the big things coming up in January and hitting 2026 hard. And it was cool. I was like totally grateful because it brought me such peace. And now, we're going to be coming into this week of holiday. So I'm going to go in Mexico, but I think part of what I'm most excited about is to have some time just to really embrace my connection to the Father, some alone time, and good quality focus time on just creating the vision for the year. And I feel like that if I'm in lion mode, attacking massive action, that's not happening, right? And it's like if I'm in the ox mode, it's like, okay, repetition, 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 got to do the plan, got to act, put the plan together and do the plan, act the plan. You know, but it's the
Well,
vision.
I think that's where, even, a number of billionaires will talk about, they have to get away.
Mhm.
They have to get away. They have to get quiet. They have to, be intentional about making that time. And that's where, I think ultimately we have to look at things from a holistic standpoint and know and understand that we can't just operate in one strength all of the time. We have to create the time. We have to be intentional in creating the fullness. That's where the fulfillment is, right? For otherwise, we feel this lacking.
Yeah.
You know, if like again, on the contrast, like if somebody's just operating from an ox strength, but they're not, you know, having bursts of the lion. They're not, exercising the muscle of that, attack. Then, there could be boring times, right? Like, I mean, in relationships,
no pursuit,
no pursuit,
Mhm.
right? Yeah,
No challenge.
exactly. I think that's where, marriage is, you guys, we have, again, I'm going to go back to the intentionality. We have to be intentional on the fullness of it. Just like, I have to be intentional in the fullness of it. I have to, you know, exercise even the pursuit, the, the, what's what's the word? The enticement part, right? The thing that keeps it exciting and those kind of things. Like it's all about intentionality.
Yeah. Yeah. I think we find that she is the master of vision, the eagle. Men, we need to tap into it. We need to tap into it for sure. More. We need to increase that strength and be willing to dream with our spouse. Super powerful. Dream with your girlfriend. If you're not married yet, you want her to become your wife and an awesome wife, dream together. And that was some of what we talked about last night. Like, what are your dreams? What are your goals? And talk about that, how those could be intertwined together as a couple. It's some advanced stuff, but it's what really creates epic marriages. And then don't stop once you get married. Continue to dream together. Continue to create a vision of what it looks like as an incredible legacy, having children, having or discipling others and growing your mission together. It's really, really powerful and necessary for epic. And that's what I'd like to do tomorrow, even, is keep going on these faces and the importance of calling those out. Of today, it happened to be pulling that out of men, because men don't tend to want to tap into that discernment side, that sensitive side, that nurture and connect. Or, it's not macho to say I love you or to give hugs and kisses. No, it's very good, very beneficial, and you have it in you. I think that's my biggest point: is men, you have it in you. It's there, it's possible, and it will make a huge difference in your marriage, in your children, in your life, if you're willing to tap into it.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Thank you, man. She's usually, before our talk, she usually has a couple of cups of coffee. I appreciate you so much being willing to adapt. It's earlier than normal, and to do this is hopefully beneficial for you. And would you do us a favor? Would you subscribe? Hit the subscribe button for us. Did you have any other thoughts?
No.
Okay. But hit the subscribe button and the notification bell, so when we create new content. And I want to thank you. We did hit the 500 mark. You did it with us. It was because of you, because of your hard work and effort, that we got it done. And so thanks. Keep doing it. Take time to go hit the subscribe button. We're at 503. Next target is 1,000. We can do it together. So will you help us out and make sure you do that? And then when we go live or we create some new content or put some posts or shorts or reels out there, you will be notified, and you can tap into that. And we'll continue to bring the best, bring all our strategies, all of our skills, all of our different trainings to you to help you have epic. We are the Amish Matchmakers. We help Amish singles find godly spouses, have an epic marriage, and create legacies that are rooted in faith and freedom. Have a great day. We'll see you later. God bless you.